Hello students, today we will learn about the topic number system. So what is number system? Number system includes all types of numbers, whether we talk about natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers and irrational numbers. So all these type of numbers are included in a system of number system. Now, what are natural numbers? Numbers which are used for counting. So basically for counting, we use numbers like 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these numbers are known as natural numbers. Now, if in the set of natural numbers, we include a digit 0, then we will get a set of whole numbers. Now, in the set of whole numbers, if I include their negative numbers also, like here we have 0, 1, 2 and 3. These are whole numbers. Now, if in these set of whole numbers, I include the negative numbers also, like their negatives are -1, -2 and -3 and so on. So, we will get a set of integers. Now comes the rational numbers and irrational numbers. So, irrational numbers are the numbers which can be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. For example, if I take a number 2 by 3, now I can write 2 by 3 as in the form of p by q. It is already in p by q form only. Here, the second condition is p and q should be integers. So here p equal to 2 is integer and q equal to 3 is also an integer. The third condition is q is not equal to 0. Here q, which is 3, is not equal to 0. So if any number meets these three criteria, that is, it should be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q should be integers only and q is not equal to 0, then that number is known as a rational number. Also, if I take a number 3, now here I can write 3 as 3 by 1. So let's check whether these three conditions can be met here or not. Here 3 by 1 is a p by q form. Also p and q are integers. Also q is not equal to 0. So 3 is a rational number. Now comes the irrational numbers. So numbers that cannot be expressed as a fraction. That is, if a number can be expressed in the form of p by q, p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0, then it is a rational number. But if a number can't be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0, then it is known as an irrational number. For example, pi and root 2. Now, how pi is an irrational number? Now, if I take a number pi, now although I can write pi equal to pi by 1. Now, I can write it in the form of p by q, but here p and q should be integers only. Here p is equal to pi, which is not an integer. So, it is not a rational number, it is an irrational number. Now comes the number root 2. So root 2, again I can write it as root 2 by 1, but here root 2 is not an integer. So it is an irrational number. Now we will talk about the real numbers. So if I combine both the rational numbers and irrational numbers, then I will get real numbers. For example, rational numbers we can take as 3 by 4. Second rational number I can take as 1 by 2. Irrational number we can take as root 3. Then we can take it as root 5. So if I take all these rational numbers and irrational number, then we will get a set of real numbers. So if 3 by 4 is a rational number, so clearly we can say that it is also a real number. Here root 3 is an irrational number. So I can say root 3 is also a real number, because real number is a set of all the rational and irrational numbers. Now real numbers can be represented on a number line. This topic, that how can we represent real numbers on number line, we will talk about this topic in further slides. So let's take an example of real numbers. Here 3, -5, 2.5, pi, root 3 are all real numbers. Now come back to this rational number. So rational numbers can be terminating and non-terminating. So We can split rational numbers further as terminating and non-terminating. Now, what do you mean by these two terms? Terminating. Here, 3 by 4 is clearly a rational number. Now, in decimal form, we can write 3 by 4 as 0.75. So, 0.75 is a terminating number. How? Because after 75, we have no digits. It has been terminated. It has been stopped there. So, it is a terminating number, which means it is a rational number. Now comes non-terminating repeating. Now here 2 by 3 is a rational number. We can write it in decimal form as 0.66666. So it is going on. So it is non-terminating means it is not ending. Secondly, it is repeating. Here digits after decimal are repeating 66666. So it is non-repeating, non-terminating repeating. So if a decimal number is terminating or non-terminating repeating, then we call those numbers as rational numbers. Now, what about the numbers which are not non-terminating and non-repeating? So, all those numbers which are non-terminating and non-repeating are irrational number. Like we can take as number, for example, we can take as 1.321034 and so on. Now here I can see it is non-terminating means it is not ending. The digits after decimal are not ending anywhere. It's going on after 4 also. So it is non-terminating. It is also non-repeating. Why? Because digits after the decimal are not repeating. We have 3, 2, 1, 0, 3, 4. So none of the digits are repeating after that. So it is non-terminating and non-repeating. So we call non-terminating, non-repeating numbers as irrational numbers. So we have talked about natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers and irrational numbers. Rational numbers can be terminating and non-terminating repeating, and irrational numbers are non-terminating, non-repeating. Now, we will talk about the properties of real numbers. Real numbers, closure property. Real numbers are closed under addition and multiplication. How? So if I add any two numbers like 2 and 3. So if 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So 5 is also a real number only. Again, multiplication. 2 into 3. We have taken two real numbers 2 and 3 and we have multiplied them. So we get 6, which is also a real number. So it means if I add any two real numbers, I will get a real number only. And if I multiply any two real numbers, we will get a real number only. Now comes the commutative property. So real number, addition and multiplication of real numbers are commutative. How? Now, if I add, for example, if I add a plus b and b plus a, it means the same. Like addition is in real number is commutative. How? For example, if I take two numbers as 2 and 5. So 2 plus 5 is equal to 7. And also 5 plus 2 equal to, so 7. So here as I can see, 2 plus 5 equal to 5 plus 2. It means if I add any two real numbers, then the order does not matter. That is, addition is commutative. Now, how multiplication is commutative? So, if I multiply any two real numbers, say 3 into 5. So, 3 into 5 is equal to 15. And 5 into 3 is also equal to 15. Here, I can see 3 by 5 is equal to 5 by 3. So it means multiplication is commutative. That is, if I multiply any two real numbers, then the order does not matter, the order in which we multiply them. If I multiply 3 by 5, I am getting 15 only. If I am multiplying 5 and 3, then also I am getting 15 only. Then associative property. Associative property, addition and multiplication of real numbers are associative. For example, if I add three numbers A, B and C. So if I am adding A plus B and then I'm adding C, or if I'm adding B plus C first, then I'm adding A, then we will get the same result only. For example, if I add 2 plus 1, then I add 3 to them, then I will get 3 plus 3 equal to 6. Now, if I do 2 plus 1 plus 3, so here what I have done, so here what I have done, earlier I have added 2 and 1, then I have added 3 to them. Now what I am doing, I am first adding 1 and 3, then I am adding 2 to it. So we will get 2 plus 4 equal to 6. So it means a plus b plus c equal to a plus b plus c. In the similar way, we can say multiplication is also commutative. That is a into b into c equal to a into b into c. Now, we will talk about few questions. We will discuss some questions so that you have a better understanding of whatever we have read till now or we have studied till now. State whether the following statements are true or false. Give reasons for your answers. The first question is, every natural number is a whole number. So, how? Every natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, and so on. Now, what are whole numbers? 0, 1, 2, and 3, and so on. So, here we can see all the natural number. Every natural number is also a whole number. So, we can say this statement is true. Now, comes the second statement. Every integer is a whole number. How? Integers are -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and so on. These are integers. Now whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, and 3. So here they are asking whether every integer is a whole number. So here we can see we have -3, -2, and -1, which are integers, but these are not whole numbers because whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, and 3, and so on only. So we can say that this statement is false. Now comes the third statement. Every rational number is a whole number. Now here I can say I can take any rational number, for example 2 by 3. Clearly 2 by 3 is a rational number, but it is not a whole number because the whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So this is false. Next question is, every irrational number is a real number. Now we've already studied this thing that real numbers include both rational and irrational numbers. So it means every irrational number is a real number. So this is true. Every point on a number line is of the form root m, where m is a natural number. So it is asking that if I am taking any number on the number line of the form root m, where m is a natural number. So let's take any number line. Let's draw a number line. So 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. So here I can say that I can see that every point, these points are 0, 1, 2, 3, and -1, -2, -3. All these numbers are not of the form of root m, are not of the form of root m. So this is also again false. Now every real number is a irrational number. Now real numbers include rational as well as irrational. So if I take any rational number like 2 by 3, so 2 by 3 is a real number, but it is not an irrational number. Why? Because it is a rational number. So this statement is also false. Now, Now we have two numbers, 1 and 2. Now we will learn how can I find numbers between two rational numbers. Here we have 1 and 2. So if I take a equal to 1 and b equal to 2. So I can find the first rational number between these two numbers as a plus b by 2, which is equal to 1 plus 2 by 2, which is equal to 3 by 2. So this 3 by 2 is a rational number which lies between 1 and 2. So now we have three numbers which are 1, 3 by 2 and 2. Now we need to find four more rational numbers between them. So we can take, now we can take a is equal to 1 and b equal to 3 by 2. Now I can take a as 1 and b as 3 by 2. So now again a plus b equal to 1 plus 3 by 2 by 2, which is equal to 5 by 4. So now we have the numbers as 1, 5 by 4, 3 by 2 and 2. Now we need to find three more rational numbers. So similarly here also I can take a equal to 1 and b equal to 5 by 4, and we can find the third rational number. Similarly we can find the fourth rational number and the fifth rational numbers. Now comes the question. Find five rational numbers between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. Here I can take a as 3 by 5 and b as 4 by 5. So a plus b by 2. This formula will be used to find the first rational number. 3 by 5 plus 4 by 5 by 2. So which is equal to 7 by 10. So now we have three numbers, 3 by 5. Number between them is 7 by 10. Then we have 4 by 5. So now we can take a equal to 3 by 5 and b equal to 7 by 10, and we can find the number between them. Similarly, we can find the other rational numbers also between these numbers. So it means between any two rational number, there lies infinite rational number, not even 5. We can find 100, 200, 300, as many as we want. We can find the rational numbers between any two numbers. So that's all for today. So we will continue this chapter in the next session. Thank you.